Are you wondering about getting pregnant after 40? Well, stay tuned for my 5 best tips on how to boost your fertility to get pregnant after 40. Hi ladies, welcome back to Fertility Mom. If you want all the science-based tips and tricks to help transform your health and increase your fertility, then subscribe to my channel and hit the bell down below so you're notified when I upload new content every week. I know it's been a while since I've been with you. Things have been a little crazy, I'm sure you know. I'm sure it's been crazy for you as well, but I'm back. I'm here for you. And today we're talking about my 5 best tips to help you get pregnant after 40. I'm always getting questions about this on my Facebook page, in my email, over Messenger, whatever it is. You know, I'm 42, I'm 43, I'm trying to get pregnant, what can I do? All this stuff. So today I'm going to give you 5 tips. Don't worry about taking notes, because if you go down to the discussion box below, I'm going to give you a link. And in there you can go and download my free fertility boosting guide at my website, totally free of charge. It's for you to help you increase your fertility, transform your health, and get pregnant naturally. So head down to that link and download the boosting guide and you'll get a lot of this information as well. There's a lot more in there than I'm going to talk about in here, but let's get to the 5 best tips for getting pregnant after 40. Tip number 1 is know your levels. This means know all of your hormone blood levels. This is going to be your progesterone, your AMH, your FSH, your DHES. You're going to want to know your vitamin D level. You're going to want to know your thyroid levels. There's a whole bunch of blood levels that you should just know as a baseline. This is a starting point, so you know exactly where you are now. Now, don't get waylaid here. Don't get all nervous that these are your results and this is what it means, because a lot of doctors are going to say, oh, hey, your AMH is in this range. You have no hope of getting pregnant, or it's not going to be likely. And then I get contacted all the time from women that are like, my AMH is really low. I'm freaked out. I don't know what to do. This is just a starting point. Your AMH levels, all of your hormone levels, all of these things can be changed drastically with diet and lifestyle changes that I talk about on my other videos that you can go and look at. I'll link to up here. I'll put them down below in the discussion box as well. But all of these things can be changed. Now, you know me, I'm all about the trends. So you gotta have the starting point. You must have the baseline so you know exactly where you're starting, and then you can look at it in a few months and see what all of the changes have done to those blood results. So number 1, know your results. Know your hormone levels. Tip number 2 is going to be know your cycle trends. This one is a really big one. It's super important to me. I'm a big fan of tracking your cycle so that you know what your body is doing. Don't go by the textbook 28-day cycle with ovulation on day 14. You may have a 25-day cycle or a 33-day cycle, and your ovulation might be on day 11 or it might be on day 18. And you won't know unless you're tracking it. It's really, really important to know your cycle. Now, this is for a couple of different reasons. Number 1, you'll know if you're ovulating. If you track your cycle, you will know if and when you ovulate. A lot of women who don't track their cycle don't know any of these things, and then they have to go through lots of different blood work to find out if they're ovulating. They have to get ultrasounds and all this crazy stuff, when you can simply do it at home, thermometer, and just tracking some body signs. I will link the videos up here or down below so that you can check those videos out and learn how you can use basal body tracking to learn more about your cycle. The other reason that this is really important to do is that it can actually give you information about your hormone levels at different times in your period cycle. So it's really important to track your particular personal cycle. It's also really important because for a lot of fertility doctors, you're going to go in for what we call the 21-day progesterone test. And this is a blood test that is done after ovulation. So on day 21 of your cycle, which would approximately be about 7 days after ovulation on a textbook cycle where you ovulate on day 14. However, if you ovulate on day 19 and you go in for a 21-day blood progesterone test, your progesterone is going to be off. It's going to be too low, because you're not taking that particular blood test at the correct time in your cycle. So, super important, know your cycle. Learn how to track it, and that's my number 2 tip for getting pregnant after 40. Tip number 3 is going to be prep your eggs. That's right, ladies, it only takes 1 good egg. You only need 1. So, what do I mean by prep your eggs? Well, we can't spot treat eggs, right? We can't just be like, well, I have all these hormonal issues and I have all these problems, but I just want my eggs to be better. You can't spot treat it. You have to address the whole system, the whole body. So I've always talked about this. I said you must address the root cause of a problem, of a hormonal problem, or anything. You have to know what's causing it, address that, and then you can get optimal health, which will give you optimal fertility, and that will help you prep your eggs. I have a whole long video all about tips to increase your egg health. I'll link to it up here. It's kind of long. I think it's like 20 minutes. But definitely check out that video. The Fertility Boosting Guide has a bunch of stuff on prepping your eggs. There's two main categories for this though, just to give you a little insight. Two main categories that you want to focus on to prep your eggs for each cycle. It's going to be your diet and your supplements. Okay, so tip number 3 is prep the eggs. Tip number 4 is going to be make sure you have a really clean diet made up of whole, unprocessed foods. This is so important that I've now mentioned it twice. I mentioned it when I talked about prep your eggs, and I'm mentioning it now. But it's so important, it needs its own tip. Having a clean diet made of whole, unprocessed foods is so good for your health. It will help clean your liver. It will help get your estrogen and progesterone levels in check. It could even help raise your AMH levels. It is incredibly important. Your body knows exactly what to do. You need to give it what it needs to do its job correctly. So, a diet of clean, whole, unprocessed foods. Don't go wild and just take everything out and, eat nothing but lettuce and olive oil if you are eating a diet full of processed foods. Take it one step at a time. Just be a little bit better every day. If you're eating a lot of sugar, take a little bit of sugar out one week, address the rest of it the next week, and then maybe move on to taking something out the week after that. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't go too fast on things, but you do want to make sure you have a clean diet. Whole, unprocessed foods is your ticket to increasing your fertility. And tip number 5 is going to be do a review of all of your beauty, household, cleaning, and kitchen products that you use on a daily basis. This is because a lot of these things that we put on our skin, we drink, we put in our bodies, we put in our food, all of these things leach chemicals into our body and they can disrupt our entire hormonal system. And you would be surprised how many chemicals are in basically everything. It's pretty crazy. I am going to do a video on it coming up because it is that important. But you want to look at everything that you put on your skin. Take a look at the ingredients in your makeup. There's a lot of stuff in there that is poisonous for you and it's actually ruining your hormonal system. So take a look at that stuff. Remember, your skin is not a barrier. It is a sponge. It actually takes all that stuff in and it gets into your bloodstream. Really important. Aluminum deodorant you want to get rid of. All of your plastic water bottles, you want to switch over to glass water bottles. You don't want to warm up your food in plastic containers. You want to get glass containers for that. This is all of the kind of stuff that you want to think about. Cleaning chemicals, also, if you get that on your hands, go straight into your body. All of these things compound after a little while, and it can actually be the cause of a major hormonal disruption. So definitely do an overview, look at all the products that you use on a daily basis. Some of the chemicals that you're going to want to look out for in some of the products that you use are going to be things like phthalates, parabens, triclosan, which you might find in your antibacterial soap or even your toothpaste. It's a big no-no. Big problem with your hormonal system. So if you have one of the toothpastes that has triclosan in it, toss that in the trash. Other things are going to be BPA or BPS. You're going to find things like BHA, BHT, oxybenzones. All of these things are found in makeup and other things that you actually put on your skin. So definitely take a look at your beauty products. If you're seeing you have a ton of chemicals in them, you may want to swap them out for something that's a little bit more natural. Okay, my beautiful chickies, those are just some of my best tips to think about when getting pregnant after 40. Now you can head to my website and grab your free fertility boosting guide, and there's lots of other stuff in there and some more specific tips about diet as well, which I get asked about every single day, all the live long day. So tons of information about that in there as well. If you really liked this video, hit me down below, hit me in the comment section, tell me what you liked, tell me what you learned, tell me what your experience is, or tell me what you want me to do a video on next. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when I give you something new every week. I shall see you again. Bye, ladies!